Yo, what's up guys? So this is Emmanuel here with another video for you guys. So in this video we're actually going to be looking at the best indicators to actually choose from. This is going to be a top 3 list of my best indicators. So in this list we're going to be talking about your moving average crossover, your RSI, and your MACD indicator. So those 3 actually personally work best for me, right? And I'm sure they'll also work for you. But honestly speaking, I'm more of a technical based trader than a indicator based trader, right? I know some people implement both technicals and indicators into one thing, right? But then that's pretty much up to you. You can decide on doing that if you want to, but I basically use technicals more. I rarely use indicators. But if you guys want to use indicators, these are the best indicators to actually use because I've used a lot of indicators in the past. Like I went through different types of trading. I went through indicator based trading, technical based trading, and fundamental based trading. So I've gone through a lot of stuff, yeah, and indicators, they're good, but I personally prefer technical, right? So if you guys don't know what technical trading is versus indicator based trading, right? um, Technical based trading is something like this. Let me just show you guys an example real quick. So these will be your technicals, right? So I've got all these lines drawn up, showing me my analysis, right? This is basically my analysis. I'm just drawing down everything uh, physically. Like I'm not using any uh, computerized formulas and all that stuff. I'm just doing everything manually, right? With my eyes, and yeah, I'm just seeing what I see. I'm drawing it down and marking out my charts. And yeah, I trade basically with technicals, right? So your technicals are your support and resistance, your trend lines, your Fibonacci, um, yeah, and all that stuff. So those are your technicals, right? And now when it comes to indicator-based trading, right, we're looking at things like your moving averages, your RSI, and your MACD indicators, right? So anyways, without any more said and done, let's get into the list, right? So first on my list is my moving averages, right? So these indicators, it's not like in any particular order, right? It's just, yeah, I think they're equally good. So it's not in any particular order to be like moving averages are the best because that's the first one I mentioned. It's not like that. They're all equally good. So yeah, I'm sure you guys understand that now. So anyways, with moving averages, right? If you guys don't know how to insert indicators from your TradingView platform, because I use TradingView to analyze. I know other people may use MT4 or MT5, something like that, right? But I personally don't like MT4 or MT5. But it's actually quite self-explanatory how to add those indicators in your MT4 platform on your computer and on your mobile device as well. So anyways, how we add indicators on TradingView, right? You just go to this point here, right? And you just click that, right? And now you get your indicators, right? You can now choose from all these indicators that are actually presented out here. So yeah. So if you guys actually want, okay, I've actually already added on indicators onto my chart. As you guys can see here, I've got my simple moving averages right here, right? So indicators will pop up here after you've added them up. So just for the sake of people that might not know, I've just hidden them right now so they don't just like show my chart and make them dirty and stuff. Because now here you guys can see now, um, you have the indicator on the chart right now. And if you want to hide them, you just click the eyeball again, and you can hide them, and then you get your plain chart again. So it's better than just removing the indicator then putting it back over time. This is far much simpler than doing that, right? So now, if you guys want me to add them up, like show you guys how I add them, just remove these indicators for you guys so I can add them manually for you guys. So here you just go to the indicators like in that part like I showed you guys, right? And you type in SMA, right? We're going to be using the simple moving average. There's two types of moving averages. There's a simple moving average, and then there is the exponential moving average, which is the EMA. So we're going to be using the SMA today, right? So what you do is just click on the simple moving average, right? And if you guys notice, right, one of the indicators popped up here, right? So we're going to be using two moving averages for this particular strategy, right? And then after that, you click it again one more time, right? So now we have both indicators that popped up here, right? So you guys will notice that even though it's just two moving averages that we've placed, right? We're only seeing one right now. So what we have to do now is change the values, right? So you have to go to the settings, right? Choose the style, which is basically your color and everything, right? So I think I'll go with blue, right? So go with this light blue here, right? And then change the thickness to the second one, right? You can also choose opacity, like how transparent you want it to look and everything. So yeah, I just put it on 100% so that it's very thick and visible. And then when you get to length, right, on the first one, we're going to be typing in 6, right? So that's going to be our first value. Then you just press OK. Now it's set for you guys. Now you notice that there's now 2, right? But the other one is just a bit too close to the other one, right? So after this, when you get to the one that's still on default of 7, right? Click on the settings again, go to length, and we'll now change this to 21, right? Then go to style, change the color to whatever you guys want it to be. I'll make this red so we have a classic blue and red type thing. And then yeah, so opacity 100%, thickness, make it a bit thicker so it's visible, and then you can exit, right? Now we've got the indicator on the chart, right? So now how we actually use this indicator now, right? We're going to be using the SMA crossover, right? I've seen a lot of people trading with moving averages in many different ways, right? I've seen people utilizing it as support and resistance levels, like that way where it bounces off one of these SMAs and starts going up, right? Or comes down, rejects off the SMA from the bottom going up, right? And we start coming down, right? And we keep on using this as a resistance level or a support level as shown here, right? But we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be using the simple crossover technique, right? Because this I feel like is much better and it works a bit more, right? So how this crossover technique works, right? You notice like the one with the higher values, right? Like the SMA with the higher value, which is the one which is set at 21, right? Is a slower moving average, right? Like it's slower. It's moving slower than the one with the value of 6, right? So the one with the value of 6 is the blue line, right? So this one is moving a bit faster, like it's moving with the chart a bit faster. As you guys can notice that it's actually closer to the candlesticks than the red line, right? So how we actually use this indicator now, right, to our advantage is that whenever the faster moving average, right, crosses over the slower moving average from the top going down, then we're looking for sell opportunities, right? Whenever this blue line, the faster one, crosses the red SMA, the slower moving average from the bottom going up, then we're looking for buyers. So you guys can see, let me just show you numerous examples, right? Here we had a crossover, right, from the top going down. Okay, let's just say blue over red, right, from the top going down, right, indicates us looking for sell, right? So as you can see, we crossed from the top going down, the market started going down from there, right? And then now we're actually moving back up a bit. Let's look for more examples in the past. You guys can see here as well, we crossed over here, right, and we had a couple of bearish candles to the bottom side, right? This is quite a few hours, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours in the trade, which is actually not that bad, right? Let's look for one more sell opportunity here, right? Same as here, right? We had a crossover, blue cross red from the top going down, right? And then finally went down. This was a very long term thing, went down for a long period of time, right? And then now, when it comes to the buying section of using this indicator, right, is directly the opposite. Like I said, when the blue crosses the red from the bottom going up, right, then we're looking for buys now. So you guys can see here we crossed the red going upwards, right, and then the market started going upwards, and it went on, kept on going up, kept on going up, kept on going up, right. Same thing here again, right? we had a crossover of the blue, we had the blue crossing the red from the bottom going up, right? And then we started going up from there, right? Same thing here as well. We crossed the red line, the blue line crossed the red line from the bottom going up, and then we just started going up from there, right? That's basically how we use this indicator. It's not something crazy. It's a very simple way to use this indicator. Um, it's not too crazy, to be honest. It's very simple. It's very easy, and that's how it should be, right? Because we're not trying to overcomplicate your trading and everything. And remember, another thing is, right, when it comes to indicators, right, try not to cluster your charts, because there's two types of indicators that you guys. There's two types of indicators basically, right? So there's indicators that show up on the chart, right, like this one, like the SMAs, right? Then there's indicators like the RSI that show up on a separate window underneath the chart, right? That show up underneath the chart, right? So if you have too many indicators like the SMA showing up on the chart, right, you won't even see what's going on anymore. It becomes too complicated. You guys won't see a lot of stuff, and I feel like it's basically not good for you guys, right? So I think that's pretty much it with SMAs, right? Okay, so moving on to indicator number 2, right? We're going to be removing our SMAs to actually add our RSI, because that is indicator number 2 on this list, right? So same thing, we just go to this panel here again, right? And now we type in your RSI, right? So now there's stochastic RSI, RSI strategy, corners RSI. We're just going to be clicking the default one, which is relative strength index, because RSI is short for relative strength index. So we just click on that, right? And you notice that the indicator popped up at the bottom, right? Like I was saying, right, we've got two types of indicators, right? We've got indicators that pop up on the chart window, and we've got indicators that pop up on a separate window underneath the chart, right? So RSI is the indicator that pops up at the bottom of the chart on its own window, basically, right? So what this basically does, right, it shows us overpriced regions, right, and oversold regions in the market, right? So when something is oversold, what's most likely going to happen? People are going to start what? It's going to start moving upwards after that, right? If something is overbought, right, the market is most likely going to start coming down, right? So this is basically what this indicator is trying to show us, right? So indicators are like very, very simple. It's just do this when this happens, do this when that happens. It's very simple topics. It's very simple to actually talk about, right? It's nothing complicated like technicals, right? So basically what we're doing with RSI, right, you'll notice that we have this dotted line here, right? And this dotted line as well, right? So those two dotted lines are going to be our guidelines to show us whether the market is oversold or overbought. Sorry. Anyways, so the dotted line at the top, right, indicates an oversold region, right? An overbought region, sorry. Then the bottom, the dotted line at the bottom, right, indicates an oversold region in the market, right? So basically what we're doing, right, is we're monitoring this indicator, right? And whenever price gets into an overbought region, right, we're now looking to start selling the market from there, right? Whenever price gets into an oversold region, we're now looking to start buying the market from there, right? So you guys will notice that every time we get up, we got to a point where the market was overbought, right? The market starts coming down. So let me just show you guys with a line, right? Horizontal line. Try to make it exactly like that, right? Okay, so here you go. So you guys can see this is the area that I was trying to indicate that we're oversold, that we're overbought, right? And then what happened after that? The market started crashing down, right? Same thing in this area here, right? The market was oversold around this area here, right? And then what happened here? The market started going upwards, right? So every time the market enters these oversold or overbought regions, right, we're now looking for a reversal to the other side, to the other direction, right? So let's just look for more examples, just so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, right? So we've got this area here as well, right? Where the market entered into an overbought region, right? So you guys can see that it went extremely overbought, like it passed further than this one, right? So this was like a very good setup in terms of being overbought, right? So the higher it goes, the more overbought it becomes, and the higher your chances of the market actually reversing are, right? So you guys can see here we're overbought, and the market start coming down from there, right? Let's look for more examples for oversold regions, right? So this was an oversold region as well, right? This area here. Try to make this exactly the same. Yeah, there we go. So we entered into an oversold region, right? And then what happened? Indicator 12, now we're oversold, and then it started going up basically. So it's quite a simple way to actually trade with this indicator, right? It's nothing crazy. It's basic. It's straight to the point, and it's cool, right? That's basically it with RSI. It's so simple. There's actually you don't actually have to crack yourself too much about it, right? Another thing that people might be asking themselves, okay, which time frame am I going to be trading on, right? You just have to pick a time frame which is suitable for yourself, right? If you're a person that doesn't want to hold trades for too long, then avoid trading on the daily time frame because you're going to be holding those trades for a very long time, right? If you want to be trading like intraday, like holding your trades for about a couple of hours at least per day, right? And you guys can be looking at the 60-minute chart, which is your 1 hour chart, or your 30-minute and 50-minute chart. Those are quick trades. You'll be out by the end of the day. You make your money quick. You're out of the trade by the end of the day, right? And if you're more patient, that's when you can start going on to the 4 hour time frames, the daily time frames, and all that stuff, right? So yeah, I think that's pretty much it with this indicator, right? Simple, straight to the point. Okay, so coming in at number 3, we have our MACD indicator, right? So the MACD is quite similar to the RSI in the sense that it's an indicator that pops up on its own separate window from the chart window, right? So it's going to be at the bottom here as well, right? So what we're going to just do is remove this indicator, remove our RSI, and then we're going to go to the same place again, right, to add our indicator. Now here we're just going to type in MACD, right? So it should pop up right here. You'll notice that there's the MACD strategy, then there's all these other MACD indicators, right? These are other indicators produced by other companies, other people, right? We're just going to be looking for the basic one, so we just click that, right? And then you'll notice that it comes out right here, right? So what we can now do is exit this, right? And now you notice that the MACD indicator is now here, right? What we're actually going to be using is this part, the histogram. I'm using this these bars here to actually determine what trades we're going to place and everything, right? We're not going to be using these moving averages that are being shown, right? We're not going to be using those. We're just using this histogram here, like the bar chart that's being presented to us right here, right? So this indicator could be a bit more difficult for some people to understand, right? But it's overall the same thing, very basic and very straight to the point, similar to the RSI. And yeah, you guys should understand if you guys people that are like good at understanding things basically. So yeah, what we now do is, right, with this indicator, you notice that the red bars, right, they come down, right, come down, come down, come down. They start off small, right, and then they start increasing, start increasing, right. Then when they start decreasing, what happens? It decreases to the point where there's nothing, and then green bars start coming up to the top, right. Same thing here as well. Green goes up, starts decreasing, and then get red bars coming down, and then yeah, we start moving downwards, right. Then we convert again. So it's basically like a sequence, right? We were just going up, down, right? So basically, how we're going to use this indicator to advantage, right, is that every single time we get a breakout, like we break through this middle point, right? Every time we break out through the 0 point, let me just mark that up for you guys so you guys can see. I've put it on 0.2. Let me just try and make it exact. Coordinates 0.0, right? Style. We want to try and make the style of this a bit smaller, right? So that it doesn't mess up with the way we see the indicator, right? Opacity there, right? Let's try and make it red, which is a more visible color. Or let's just make it white actually, since my chart has got a black background. So now we're just going to exit this, right? And then Yeah. Damn. Damn. Just keep on putting lines everywhere. Okay, yeah. So now we've got our 0 point right in the center, right? So every time we cross we cross the 0 point, right? To the upside, right? We're now looking to start buying the market, right? So you guys can see the moment you started crossing, right? The market started going up as well, right? But you guys are noticing that, right? Same thing here, right? When we crossed with the red coming down, right? The market started coming down from that point, going downwards, right? So let me just show you guys a more accurate. So here we go, right? So when it started going up, right, the market started going up, right? When the indicator crossed zero going upwards, right, we started going upwards, right? When the indicator crossed zero going downwards, right, we started coming downwards. This is not accurately put. Damn. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, that's basically what we're looking for, right? We're looking for points when the market moves up, right? When we cross going to the upside, when we cross zero going to the upside, right? We're going to start looking to buy the market, right? When we cross zero going to the downside, we're going to start looking to sell the market, right? Same thing here in the past, right? This area here, right? We crossed zero going upwards, right? And then what started happening? The market started going upwards, right? So it's relatively simple to use, honestly speaking. Like, it's not really difficult. It's straight to the point as well, just like your simple moving averages, right? And your RSI. So if you guys want to make this easier for you guys, right, you can go along plotting with these vertical lines that I've been putting out, just to make it easier for you guys, just to know where your buy point started, right, and where you're most likely going to end. In fact, no, you won't be knowing where you're most likely going to end, honestly speaking. You're going to know when it's time to end when the market starts crossing over again, right? Because as you guys can see here, we crossed red crossed, we crossed the red, my goodness, we crossed the zero line going downwards, right? And then we start going downwards, yeah? And then we could exit the trade as soon as we cross zero going upwards with the green bars, right? So we'll be closing the trade around this area here. So that's basically what you'll be doing. Same thing here. We crossed the zero going upwards, right? Went up, and then when we started going downwards, right, you're going to exit your trade around this area here. So it's very simple, straight to the point things, and yeah, that should be my top 3 indicator list. So yeah, I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video. Like, I hope it was helpful for you guys, because I'm sure you guys are all wondering, oh, which is the best indicator to use and all that stuff. So I've just dropped for you guys my top 3 indicators, the ones that worked for me in the past, and how to actually use them the right way, right? So yeah, that's pretty much all from me today, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you guys. If it was helpful for you guys, drop a like, because it does take time to make this video. So I really appreciate the like, right? And also subscribe if you're new to this channel, right? And if you guys want me to speak about any certain topics, like any topic that I haven't covered so far on my YouTube channel, right? And you guys want me to talk about that, drop a comment in the comment section, and then I'll definitely look at that, right? And if you guys also don't want to like comment in the comment section, right, so that people are like looking at the topic that you guys are requesting, right, maybe you're shy or something like that, right, you can DM me on Instagram and I'll cater for your needs. So if you guys want my Instagram details, right, my handle is in the description of this video, so you can just click there, DM me, and yeah, I'll look into making a video on the topic that you actually requested. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have a good day. I'm out.